Hi friends, welcome back to Socially Distant, and because that's the name on my passport, I'm Brian Noonan. I hope you had a great weekend and stayed safe and healthy, because despite evidence to the contrary, we're still in the midst of a pandemic. Yes, I know if you watch the news, some places it seems like, well, we got bored of COVID-19, so it's gone. But it's not. Yes, numbers are going up in a lot of places, not surprisingly, places that opened up wide, and now they're seeing cases jump. Does that mean you need to stay at home all the time? No. But does it mean you still have to be careful and wear a mask, not just to protect yourself, but to protect other people from the possibility that you might be a carrier? Yes, that's what it means. Go out, have fun, be careful. You know I love being outside. You know I love nature. But I like nature where it belongs, outside of my house. When nature comes into the house, that's when things get dicey. Well, nature kind of came into the house in a rip-roaring fashion Friday night. So we'd had dinner, we were sitting around watching some TV, and it came time to let the dogs go out for the final time of the night, or as we call it in the house, time to go potty for bedtime. One of our dogs, Gidget, loves to go out. She would stay out all day, so she always goes out to go to the bathroom, no problem. Our other dog, Lawson, is a different story. To call Lawson lazy would be an insult to anybody who has embraced sloth as a way of life. This dog does what he wants, when he wants, and no other time. Imagine if the dog from the Beverly Hillbillies and Speedy from the Dukes of Hazzard had blended together to form one big lab-hound mix. Sweet personality, great dog to have around, but lazy as the day is long. Lawson finally goes out, and I'm sitting in the chair watching TV as my wife decides to let them in. Now, for whatever reason, my wife opens the door, mindlessly, just to let the dogs run in. She doesn't look down at the dogs. Lawson comes around the corner from the dining room into the living room, and I see he has something in his mouth, and that something in his mouth has a long, rat, possum-looking tail. I mean no disrespect to little girls when I say this, but I shrieked like a little girl, and I yelled, "Debbie, open the door and get him out. He's got a possum in his mouth." Now, I didn't know from the distance that it was in fact a possum, but judging from the tail, it was a good guess. Well, Lawson sees me spring out of the chair with an agility that I have rarely demonstrated, screaming, and he immediately drops what's in his mouth. It turns out it is a possum. A possum about, I don't know, a foot long maybe, and then another 8 inches of tail. The possum was matted, obviously from saliva, there were some, it looked like teeth marks, there were some blood things, and it didn't appear to be alive. Now, I can get things done, but sometimes I don't handle stress well, and my wife and daughter don't handle that kind of stress at all. So I yelled to Debbie to grab me a grocery bag from the kitchen. She was standing right by where all the plastic bags are. She's standing there, and she's trying to get them, and she's trying to I'm like, hurry, just give me one, I got to get it out of here. When the possum decides to start moving. So it is not dead. It was, in fact, yes, wait for it, playing possum. She hands me the bags, and I tried to reach over like I do when I'm scooping poop out on the walks with the dog. I put the bags over my hand. I tried to scoop down to grab the possum. Didn't go all the way in, so I ended up having to grab it barehanded by the little rat possum tail and dropping it in the bag. Now I tie a knot in the bag and I go out and I'm thinking, I'm just going to throw this possum in the garbage can. But then the humanitarian part of me overtook me. So I walk out into the alley, and across the alley there's some trees and a little grass, and I thought, well, I'm going to see what happens with this possum. I'm just going to dump him in the grass and see. So I open the bag, dump out the possum. This possum, who had been playing dead a few minutes earlier, man, he was back to life. This possum couldn't wait to start moving. He scurried down the alley and shot into another person's yard. I went back in the house. Now we've got antibacterial wipes and everything, wiping the floor down where the possum had hit the floor. Lawson is laying on the couch looking sad and confused. He doesn't know why we were screaming. His thought is, I just brought in one of my toys. Because as I looked at this baby possum laying on our dining room floor, it did look pretty similar to a couple of Lawson's toys. And I know, based on his laziness, there was no way he chased that thing in the yard. My guess is the possum was out there, When he ran out to go to the bathroom, the possum did what possums do and played dead, and he just thought, hey man, another treat. And he was happy as a clam when he came dropping in. So that's the nature story. I don't like possums. We've had run-ins with them in the past. One of our old dogs got scratched by an adult possum. At the old house, we had 2 possums in the yard. It wasn't until after the first one was disposed of probably incorrectly that I remembered that, yes, possums do play dead. And so the second one, I just eased to another location and left it, and then about an hour later, it was gone, so it had lived. So I've had a lot of run-in with possums, and I'm done. I'm over it. Well, I've also started calling Lawson Killer, despite the fact that he didn't kill the possum. I just think it's nice. Now, my wife and daughter don't appreciate that nickname because, well, he's really not a killer. But he's lazy. So maybe this will give him the impetus to do something else. All right, I figured I would just update you and share a story that will make you see that really our lives are not that different. And even in quarantine, weird shit can happen. Pardon my French. All right, I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Until next time, stay safe, stay home if you can, stay alert for nature invading your space, and as always, stay socially distant. Bye.